Slint, a band I actually know nothing about. I am told that it's like math rock, post-hardcore rock. Maybe the words post-hardcore weren't spoken. I don't know. But I do have a little thing. Slint is a band from Louisville, Kentucky, and were fairly unknown during their run from 86 to 91, only releasing 2 albums before dissolving, with an EP of Cutting Room Floor Tracks released in 94, only occasionally reuniting in the years since the 4 reunion shows. However, Spiderland quickly became an important album for the underground US music scene, being credited as an important influence on both math and post-rock, continuing to inspire bands to this day, such as BCNR, who directly references them in Science Fair. Spiderland was recorded with only minor vocal overdubs, leading to a pared-down sound compared to much of the bombast of their contemporaries. That was written by our very own Sky Light. Thank you so much for the context. We love the context crew. Guys, now you actually know everything I know about this. It looks like we got 6 songs, totaling out to about a tight 39, 33. So we're going to hop into this thing. I am going to hit the play button on this thing. I was born... Not yet. I was born 4 months and 2 weeks later to the day. So I'm going to hit the play button on this thing. Before I do, it's very important to me that you know that you are awesome, that you are valuable, that you are important, that you matter, that you are deserving of love, and that I am abundantly grateful for even a moment of your time. If you like what you see, feel free to hit the like and the subscribe button, because it does go a long way to help me out. And if you really like what you see, leave a comment. I would love to hear from you, or join us on Twitch. These people over here are actually the best people. Come discover music with us. I stream every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 8:30 p.m. Arizona time. I say that because we just changed, the world around me just changed their clocks, but Arizona does not change their clocks. So just look up Arizona time. That's the time I stream, 8:30 p.m. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Guys, who is Slint? Let's check it out. Breadcrumb Trail. Nice little harmonic thing there.
I stepped out onto the midway. I was looking for the pirate ship when I saw this small, old light tenant orbit. It was blue and it had white lights hanging all around it.
There's this interesting, like, harmonic, like, pring, like, that they allow to ring out. It immediately reminds me of, like, what I would go to hear Isaac do many years later with BCNR.
It was blue and it had white lights hanging all around it. Decided to check out the tent. It seemed like I could hear music coming from inside. As I walked toward it, I passed a crowd of people at a sideshow. Couldn't figure out why they would want to wait in line. I pulled back the drape thing on the tent.
I feel like this was recorded in a house.
Behind it, a girl wearing a hat. She smiled and asked me if I wanted my fortune read. I said okay, sat down. Then I thought about it for a minute. Asked her if she'd rather go on a roller coaster instead.
There's absurdism here for sure. Night cats. Ooh.
Creeping up into the sky.
1991.
At the top then, starting down. The girl grabbed my hand. I clutched it tight. I said goodbye to the ground.
Okay. It does have early grunge sounds. It does have early emo sounds. It does have post-rock sounds. This does bang. For sure, it bangs. But it's definitely there's. I agree with you there, Gary, with the grungy Nirvana-y thing happening. But it's more like it's like a kind of more psychedelic kind of sound. It's like definitely got that industrial sort of thing going on there. But I can't. I definitely. There's certainly, and maybe it's the grungy tones that you're hearing in the guitar. Like you're hearing a deep boom with these these power chords. And it almost feels like I've recently discovered or learned what sludge rock was, or sludge metal was. And it kind of has like sludge metal-y guitar tones, but then you have this like kind of bit crushed sort of sound on the lead with that beep.
Far below a soiled pan. A bucket of torn tickets set aside.
What's up, Ferret?
He watches the children run by. And cleans his teeth.
Spinning round, my head began to turn. I shouted and searched the sky for a friend.
Dude, 91.
The fortune teller screaming back at me. We stuck out our hands and met the wind.
Look up this song by Death Cab for Cutie. Put this in your notes later, but it really brings me to this song. It's from the Transatlanticism album. It's called "We Looked Like Giants," and this song is reminiscent of that to me, and it's hitting me in like a pretty core part of my musical upbringing. That's really hitting me there. So I'm definitely, there's definitely something here. Are you talking Fugazi, like the punk band that disbanded?
Girl falters as she steps down from the platform. She clutches her stomach and begins to eat. The ticket taker smiles. The last car is ready. Who told you you could leave?
The drum sound in these rigged guitar chords right there, that's what's bringing me to We Look Like Giants. This guitar tone. What other bands were doing this in 91? Like the Pixies, maybe? Sonic Youth, maybe? The bass in the low end here.
The sun was setting by the time we left. We walked across the deserted lot alone.
I haven't, Gizhenge, no. I'm only familiar with songs.
Managed to smile. At the gate, I said goodnight to the fortune teller. The carnival sign threw colored shadows on her face. But
Wow.
I could tell she was blushing.
What an interesting story. It's kind of like a day in the life of like a strange nothing burger, but also kind of seem like a nothing burger that you'd remember for the rest of your life at the same time. Maybe I'm missing a deeper meaning, but it's not like I don't dislike the song. It got the plus button. Like, I actually really liked it. I liked the tones. I liked the dynamics. I definitely liked feeling like I heard inspiration in other music I listened to from this. I liked that I kind of heard a Nirvana-y thing that is, again, I wouldn't even compare this to Nirvana. I would just say it's contemporary at best, but different. Because, again, it definitely had more of a Midwestern emo kind of math rock sort of vibe going. Definitely interesting. Nosferatu Man. A lot of low end with this snare. And the timing. Ooh. That lead sound that they've reused now. That sound. I could feel that comment, Putter, and I don't know enough for you to answer that far.
With my smiling queen, who sits across the table by the food she made.
Like a bat, I flushed the girl, and I blew out my back door. Night came, tomorrow was no more.
Such a chonky tone, but the timing is so nuts. And the transition into that. And the drums really hold that.
When the sun is high, I slink away from my queen's weary stare.
So I slip away from my queen's gray stare. I saw that, I heard that lyric was wrong, but
Can we settle down and be doing just fine till I hear that old train rolling down the line?
that. And he only does like a half bend. That tone there. It reminds me of the guitar tone that I heard on the Melvin song that Chaotic Old Boar had me start listening to, and this I ended up having to cut the stream short. But it reminds me of that. The guitar player for the Melvins had that gnarly, like, metal sounding slow tone. And it's like if you played that guitar tone in a different context. Reminds me of Core.
Set a fire to burning, and I railed on through the night. You set a fire to burning.
And that's not me saying that this sounds like the Melvins. That's me saying that guitar tone is similar.
And I railed on through the night.
Just taking all of the mitts right out of it. The timing changed again. The one is stupid. The count is, I mean.
Now my queen is lying in her early grave. After that girl, I'll keep it rolling. There's nothing left to save.
Did he Edgar Allan Poe her? Honestly, that last strike at the end when I wasn't expecting it friggin' tuned my loins.
Now my queen is lying in her early grave. After that girl, I'll keep it rolling. There's nothing left to save.
The way they bang it out, you think it's over? That song was lit, dude. That song was so crazy with timing. It was an obscene use of rhythm and tempo, and I loved it. Don Aman is the next song. You hear the way it's fading? And it definitely seems like when they change the time signatures that there are different tones, and it makes me feel like they're stepping on pedals at the same time. Yeah, I obviously. And that fade wasn't so bad, but it also, I felt like, could have been maybe some natural decay there too.
Don stepped outside.
I will say, I would like to hear more lyrical take. I recognize what they're doing. But in my... and I said it when I was listening to BCNR after I finished all three of the albums. I liked the albums better. I liked Bush Hall better than the Isaac era. Okay? That's just my thoughts. And this reminds me of Isaac era BCNR, as in, like, I feel like BCNR sounds like these guys. But there's not like a... The timing, the things that are exciting me about it aren't my favorite parts of music. And so it's not like been like Super Saiyan Mega Banger to me, but it's also been like a fun listen, and I've enjoyed it, and it's been a fun journey. But definitely, like, I liked BCNR better. I almost feel like if those are the comparisons, that this walks so that BCNR could run. Just my opinion, but it's a new genre to me. I love the bass and I like this a lot.
It felt good to be alone.
I would agree with you, Sky.
He wished he was drunk. Thought about something he just said. And how stupid it had sounded. He knew he should forget about it. And he decided to piss. But he couldn't.
A plane passed silently overhead. The street light and the buds on the trees and the night.
It's interesting to hear the way that they're giving attention to the bass and allowing it to be the feature here in a non-conventional way. It's also kind of interesting to hear the different vocal takes, because it makes me wonder, is that two different lyricists? And it also makes me wonder, if it's not two different lyricists, did they intentionally change his vocal tone?
The street light and the buds on the trees, and then they were still.
It finally came.
You said that right as it was not 4/4 at all.
He took a deep breath. It made him feel strong and determined to go back inside.
Bow, bow. I'm very much enjoying the way they're using this bass sound. That was a guitar. Right? No, that's two basses. For sure a Trent Reznor kind of sound. He plays a lot with these kind of darker, ethereal sounds. Are they tapping? Or no, it's picking and it's sounding like tapping because it's in unison.
The light. Their backs. Their conversation. The couples. Romancing. So natural. His friends stare. With eyes like that.
Are we just playing one note in different octaves?
Of nails.
No, we're not. Oh. Bow, bow, bow.
Glances. With amusement, with evasion, with contempt, so distant, with malice for being a sty
Malice for being a sty.
in their engagement.
Like swimming underwater in the darkness, like walking through an empty house, speaking to an imaginary audience, and being watched from outside by no one.
He could not dance to anything.
A soul without a key.
Outside by no one.
They got that reverby sound. There's a big tension to this with this discordance here.
And drove and howled and laughed at himself. He felt he knew what that was.
Unexpected. Unexpected. And we've kind of thrown the metronome out here. It's like their equipment isn't mastered at all for it, because you could hear when he turned off that pedal, everything just fell out of it. Right there. There's a rawness and a dirt to it, like a grit to it. It's like wood that hasn't been sanded, and I like the grit because it's not giving you splinters. It's got some texture to it, right? Some grain, some grit.
Woke up. And looked at the night before. He knew what he had to do. He was responsible. In the mirror, he saw his friend.
I feel like the most impressionable thing about this is that that was primarily a song featuring the bass guitar and like some spoken word, and you had these like hard guitar moments in the middle, and then this vampy guitar in a room. You're just chugging on it like what, a G chord? Just there in the middle of the room. Next side, I feel like that song won the creative award for the first 3 songs for sure. For sure, that song won the creative award. Yeah. I wasn't mad at it. Okay, so this one's Washer. Yes! Yes! Hi, Freaky Bob. There is there's like both somehow the song feels like it wants to uplift you with this lead happening in the background, but then you don't get it. It like kind of keeps you unsatisfied from resolve, but you feel like it could happen. But then it...
Night, my love. Remember me as you fall to sleep. Fill your pockets with the dust of the memory that rises from the shoes on my feet. I won't be back here, though.
I like that this feels like it could be kind of a jam vehicle because of the timing here. There's this vamp that's just so fulfilling, you know? And that transition at the end.
I know it's dark outside.
The lyrics definitely feel like early, like late 90s, early 2000s indie rock got inspired here. Or it's a sound that I would go on to hear in that time period of indie.
Wash yourself in your tears and build your church
Maybe even like Harvey Danger kind of
on the strength of
sound. and just the vocal delivery. Elliott Smith, if it was like, if you gave him electric guitars. I could actually maybe get behind you on that one, Applebee's. Da, 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 da. Ooh, and they take you right out of what you expect there. I love that they use the bass guitar for lead purposes, like for melodic purposes, and not just like rhythm section. And yeah, this is nice. Da 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 da. I feel like I want to do so much with this instrumentation, but I'm not hearing the lyrics. This song is leaving me in want a little bit.
Listen to me.
For sure a Sonic Youth comparison.
Go. Don't let this desperate moonlight leave me your empty pillow. Promise me the sun will rise again.
Okay. I don't think that the repetitive nature is a bad thing. Like I said, this could be an amazing jam vehicle, a nice vamp vehicle for people to just feel sound wash over them. I like that. But it's a song that leaves you in want. You keep hearing the makings of what could be what I'm imagining I'm about to hear to be the Ripper. A fake out build up. Oh, a real fake out build up. Like they took you balls deep into that one.
Thoughts of tonight's dreamless sleep. My head is empty.
You hear these bombastic pick scraping things happening in the background on the right ear here?
I am safe from
There's that beefy boy I was talking about. And they're just huge chords. The whole song, that moment was worth it. The whole song, that moment made it worth it. That mega guitar, that squealing lead, the whole song made that moment worth it. Like it, and then after the Ripper, you end up just this nice little vampy, like, all right, let's be whelmed for a little bit before I lead you into another one. That slide up lead there. It's interesting because it's such a different type of tension release that I find I like with Fish, right? But it's tension and release none the same, but it's a different kind of release. It's not like you're squeezing a mustard bottle, right? Like, but it is like you're dealing with big kind of sounds, and these vampy sorts of things are just really, really, really nice. Can somebody do me a genius for dinner, if you don't mind? It doesn't seem like Genius has lyrics. Instrumental. Bing, bang, boom. Let's look at these guys. These 90s Louisville guys. Does this shirt say butter? I love it. They look like their time period. Kind of like the change up there. Would love some dinner. I was actually thinking about getting some cornbread here in a moment. But I'm gonna finish the album first. This song has certainly been bombastics for dinner. I feel like they each kind of come in, but you've got the bass being the consistent thing. What's funny is, normally you would call a person that plays the bass like this an inexperienced guitar player. But they're making this work for them, you know what I mean? It's not... There's clearly the intention. Man, the psych out build-ups. And it's like each build-up is taking you a little bit further into it before it drops. Definitely not a band that played with the metronome, I don't think. I think that when it comes to stuff like this, what makes it kind of special, I don't say that they don't play with a metronome as a dunk either. I think it makes it special that they allow themselves this kind of sound to be recorded. They let there be a heartbeat that sometimes speeds up and sometimes slows down, and that's honestly really nice. It feels like they don't get in their own way by trying to make it fit some sort of form and function or manual of how music should be. And it feels like they're utilizing their creative kind of nature to it. I think that the music is intentionally kind of off time. And then as much as they switch time signatures and stuff, they're great musicians. They'd clearly be able to play this to a metronome, right? But without a budget or whatever, you know, those are kind of parts you just have to feel if you're not going to sit there and chunk out a massive amount of time in a studio. I would agree with you, and I think the lack of perfect timing adds to the tension of it. And I feel like post-rock is certainly supposed to make you feel tense. That said, I can't see myself returning to this again with the kind of instrumental it is, because I don't typically like a tense feeling in my daily driven music. I'm over here trying to vibe because I get stuck in my feelings. I feel like up until like kind of now, the last minute, this particular instrumental had a little bit of a audio fatigue to me. I think Washer has been my favorite so far. So didn't get the perfect chat. It didn't get the didn't make a perfect list. No big dizzle. And it seems like we are coming up on the second most popular, Good Morning Captain. So closing down the album here. Definitely wouldn't have pegged this as a band from Louisville. Not at all. Best song for last song. Okay. What is this noise? And what a cool way to use it in this dissonant context.
Let me in. A voice cried softly from outside the wooden door.
Love the drum sound right now. It's like, it sounds like it could transition into a punk song, but then you hear like these dissonant guitar fills come in.
Stay in the ice along the shore.
Like you come in with a slightly different riff there and you have a punk song. It's incredible. You're right. Yeah, Uncle Bert, I can absolutely see where you're coming from. And you're absolutely right in that when you adjust tone, it changes the entire dynamic of the song. And if you put some overdriven spank, now in this context, I'd say you'd need more of a distortion spank for the tone to make it sound Sabbathy. But between the bass sound and like a more spank sound, it could go one way. But, you know, adjust the riff to be more of a like a major key run, and you've got like a punk song. It's interesting how that affects everything.
He managed as he tried to stand. The tears ran down his face. Please, it's cold.
Love this bass transition. I would love to hear what they did with major key stuff. The timing is nuts. Nice
When he
drum.
woke, there was no trace of the ship. Only the dawn was left behind by the storm. He felt the creaking of the stairs beneath him that rose from the sea to the door.
I think honestly, I just like the post rock that's coming out of England better. Like recently.
There was a sound at the window then. The captain started. His breath was still. Slowly, he turned.
This bit has been the best part of the song. That spanking guitar tone, dude. Chaotic old board. Do you see what I was saying? Do you see what I was saying? You would know better because you were the dang old person that introduced me to the Melvin song. But do you see what I'm saying? I think you said his name was Buzzo. Is that correct? It sounds like that Melvin guy guitar tone. What's this noise? Is this just a soft staccato pick on a harmonic? Yep, it is. I'm not hearing it.
Behind the edge of the windowsill, there appeared the delicate hand of a child. His face was flushed and timid. He stared at the captain through frightened eyes. The captain reached for something to hold on to. "Help me," he whispered as he rose slowly to his feet. Face went red.
Love this part.
He recognized the song. Silently, he pulled down the shade against the shadow. Lost at the doorstep of the empty house. I'm trying to find my way home.
The different vocal
I'm sorry.
tones.
I miss you.
I would be very What do you guys? What? conviction. The whole album led up to that. I just loved that. That would. The relatability to that, just that screaming of missing somebody. I need to live with this album a bit more, because right now I'm not feeling like it changed my life, but I am feeling like I want to listen to it again. It's like, it's definitely done something interesting, and it, you know, again, for being 19 and 91, like, that's a big deal. Like, I actually really enjoyed this. I feel like I need to give it a few more listens and try to pick up on some things I missed out on. I also want to kind of try to revisit the lyrics a little bit and maybe take another lyrical, imaginative approach. But I really enjoyed what I heard. It's not daily driver music for me. I don't think that post-rock is, because I typically vibe a little bit more than that. And like, I try to be conscientious of music that leaves me with big and heavy feelings, because I'm a person that gets stuck living in those big and heavy feelings. But I love hearing it. I like the dynamics. I like that it never goes the way I think it's going to go. And like I said, that whole album that whole 39 minutes was worth that I miss you moment. For sure. For sure it was. To me, like, so if I can look at that 40 minutes and say, like, yeah, that album was worth it to have gotten to that last moment, it's a good thing. Guys, I love you. Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for the positivity that you show both to me and to one another. Continue to be the best. And until I see you next, be introspective and consider the birds. I love you guys. Goodbye.